Ladies and gentlemen, please silence your phone ringers during the entire program of the general session. I'd like to welcome Cello Fury and Texture Contemporary Ballet.
Now, I think that is the way to start. Cello Fury and Texture Contemporary Ballet started us off, and they started us off really well. And thank you to the Heinz Endowments for supporting all of the Pittsburgh artists throughout the convention this year. They told me magically a lectern would appear. Yes, for the Heinz Endowments, absolutely. You know, we had the wonderful opportunity to have Yo-Yo Ma as our Nancy Hanks lecturer this year. I'm calling Yo-Yo up and telling him he has to move over with Cello Fury. That sounds absolutely wonderful. I want to thank all of you for coming here to Pittsburgh for the 2013 Americans for the Arts Annual Convention. I'm Bob Lynch, President and CEO of Americans for the Arts, and it is an honor to have you here, and it's great to see all of you again in the corridors and in the sessions that have been going on for the last several days. Many friends personally. This is the 35th time I've come to this conference, first as a member and then as a board member and then as the executive director. Two things I'd like to start off simply by saying. Number one, what you do is important. And you bring the gift of the arts to lives in communities and in America. And you bring, secondly, the power of the arts as a social problem solver to communities across the country. And what's the ROI on that? We're always asked about that. Better communities, better lives, better America. That's pretty good. So give yourselves a round of applause, please. And at Americans for the Arts, it's our privilege to help you with that great task. I want to say that Pittsburgh is the perfect city in which to hold this year's convention and our first ever Cultural Districts Pre-Conference. How many were there at the Cultural Pre-Conference? There you go. Give yourselves a round of applause. That was great. First Cultural District Pre-Conference exceeded our goals, and you can literally see the arts reinvigorating cities and neighborhoods, and this city and its neighborhoods right here. We also had emerging leaders. Emerging leaders, there you are. We also had public art. Any public art people still here? We also had arts education. We had private sector. We had the United States Urban Arts Federation, the 60 largest cities. We had the State Arts Advocacy Network. We had newcomers, and we had the Americans for the Arts Action Fund, all meeting over the last day and a half. Round of applause to all of you for the good work that you do. I mentioned the Heinz endowments, and I want to thank all of our tremendous sponsors this year, including Highmark, Pennsylvania Council on the Arts, the Claude Worthington Benedum Foundation, PNC, the Giant Eagle Market District, BNY Mellon, McKay Lodge, Conversation Laboratory, Inc., the National Endowment for the Arts, the Pittsburgh Foundation, the Fine Foundation, the William and Flora Hewlett Foundation, American Express Foundation, Blumling and Gusky Attorneys at Law, Carnegie Mellon University Masters of Arts Management, Visit Pittsburgh, Aetna, the Buell Foundation, the Grabble Foundation, UPMC, Dollar Bank, the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust, and our local host, the Greater Pittsburgh Arts Council. You've outdone yourselves, Pittsburgh. Now, this is truly an arts conference, and this year I hope that you visit the Arts Circuit, a new series of participatory stations placed throughout Center Stage. It will help you share your thoughts, they say release anxieties, and enjoy your time through artistic expression, something new that we're trying. Try your hand at making a personal emoticon, collaborate on an abstract painting, tell us how you fell in love with the arts for the very first time and where, fill in a group Mad Lib on what we can do through art and more. They're simple, fun, they're all in Center Stage, and visit that area, all of the booths where you registered for ongoing conversation throughout the conference. Right after convention, Americans for the Arts will be releasing our first local arts agency's salaries report, the first one since 2001. A lot has changed since then, as you will see. The report has salary information on 15 different common jobs at local arts agencies, as well as breakdowns by region, gender, agency type, and more. There are some really startling findings, and the results are going to prompt some discussions about geographic and racial and gender inequality that we think are important for the field to have. So make sure you check it out by visiting americansforthearts.org/LAA survey as soon as you get back to your office. I want to say a word of thanks to the great staffs of Americans for the Arts and of the Greater Pittsburgh Arts Council. Would all of you stand for a moment? And also to our great board of directors at Americans for the Arts, some of them around the room, but a number of them I see right here. Would you please stand for a moment? And it's now my honor to introduce Rich Fitzgerald, the Allegheny County Executive. Rich is a Pittsburgh guy. He grew up in Pittsburgh's Bloomfield-Garfield neighborhood and studied mechanical engineering here at Carnegie Mellon University. I was telling him ahead of time about our ongoing work with NACO, the National Association of Counties, and how important counties all across the country are for the support and funding of the arts at community levels in America. He worked on the campaign to change the form of government in Allegheny County. In 1999, he ran for one of the district council seats on the newly formed county council and was elected to represent a district that included suburban municipalities and city neighborhoods. He held the seat for 12 years and was elected as council president 4 times before leaving to run for the office of county executive. He took office as county executive in 2012, and he has focused his attention on the economic development of the region, something familiar to all of you, job creation. He works to improve the airport, the public transit system, and to make the government more effective and efficient. And he does all this while he and his wife Kathy raise 8 children. So ladies and gentlemen, Rich Fitzgerald, Allegheny County Executive.
Thank you, Bob, and welcome. And thank you for coming here. We're glad to show off our beautiful city and our beautiful region. And art and culture has always been a big part of our tradition. And just to give you, I guess, a couple of examples, over my both shoulders here, you're looking at some bridges that you see if you look out over the river, one of which is named for Andy Warhol, the Andy Warhol Bridge. We have 3 sisters bridges out there, one named for Roberto Clemente that takes you to PNC Park for the baseball game, one that is named for Andy Warhol, one of our famous artists from Pittsburgh, that takes you to the Warhol Museum, and then a third one named after Rachel Carson, the great environmentalist that brings you right here to this convention center, and you are sitting in the world's best environmental, highest LEED certified convention center in the world. So we're very proud of the environmental sustainability and our commitment to the environment and sustainability. And with the Andy Warhol Bridge, we're going to be doing, at the end of this summer, we're going to be calling it You Bomb the Bridge with Yarn. I don't know what that means, but it's called Knit the Bridge. So we're going to be knitting the bridge. It's going to be the first major span in the country that's going to be done. 600 panels of knitting that people are working on as I speak, with 600 miles of yarn and over 1,200 individuals participating as they will cover the Andy Warhol Bridge with yarn and knitting that bridge. So we're very excited about what we do. And for those of you coming from Washington, we appreciate you coming from Washington. Probably drove, or flew, or took the bus, or took the train. Well, tomorrow we're going to be cutting a ribbon on the opening of the Great American Passage. So next time you come here, you'll be able to bike all the way from Washington, D.C. on a trail that takes you right to the point at downtown Pittsburgh. And then tomorrow you'll actually be able to, people will be able to bike down to the Three Rivers Arts Festival, and I'm sure many of you have gone and seen some of that the art that we display every year at this time, going on for decades, and all the beautiful things that we have going on. You know, we're all inspired by art, and we're all, you know, moved by some of the great things, like the performance that we just saw, whether it be a beautiful performance art or painting or sculpture, whatever it might be that beautifies a neighborhood. And Bob talked about how artists are often the leading edge of revitalizing a neighborhood. We've gone through some tough times here in Pittsburgh over the last 3 decades, and we're doing pretty well right now, but some of our neighborhoods were in pretty much disrepair. The ones that came back were often brought back led by artists who moved into that neighborhood and started to beautify that neighborhood and make it a desirable place for people to live. So as much as it inspires, yes, give yourselves a hand for doing that. And you know, our Greater Pittsburgh Arts Culture, Mitch Swain, I'm sure will be up talking in a minute, has done a great job. Our cultural institutions are very important to the fabric of Pittsburgh. But for all of that, I guess as county executive, I need to talk about hard dollars and cents. And you know what? Those hard dollars and cents are really generated by art, a lot of it. You know, in our region alone, $378 million is spent by artists every year. $324 million spent by people going to visit art and art performances for a $1.2 billion economic impact to our region, creating over 21,000 jobs. That's important to us. It's important to our economy. It's important to us moving forward as a region. So it's not just about the great inspiration that we get and the beauty that we get. It really does come down to jobs, economic impact. We realize the importance of what you do to our region, and I'm sure places around the country in your communities. It's very important, and I can tell you as county executive, I appreciate what folks like Mitch and Kevin McMahon from the Cultural District, what they do for our community. There's a lot of dollars and cents, there's a lot of beauty, there's a lot of quality of life. It's why people love Pittsburgh so much. So we just want to welcome you. Enjoy yourselves. Oh, one last thing. We just opened a Subway last year. It takes you over to the North Shore, and it's free. So if you want to go over and see the Warhol Museum, for example, or you might go to the casino, although you might want to do that. I don't know about that. Go see Heinz Field, PNC Park. Just take a stroll through our beautiful downtown and be able to go see that. But enjoy yourselves. We welcome you here. Have a lot of fun in Pittsburgh. Take care now.
My name is Mitch Swain. I'm CEO of the Greater Pittsburgh Arts Council, and I want to welcome you all to Pittsburgh. This is a great moment for all of us in our arts community, and I really want to thank the folks from Americans for the Arts for working with us. And you came to Pittsburgh at a great time. We have a Pride Week, we have the Three Rivers Arts Festival, a lot of activity happening here, and we're just really happy to have you here. So, show of hands, how many of you have never been here before or haven't been here in a long time? That's a lot of hands. That's exactly what we wanted to have happen. You know, 30 years ago, we lost our steel industry and this place changed. 2/3 of our population left, and we have come back strong in a lot of big ways. They're kind of, I like to think of kind of 4 spokes to the wheel in the ways that we've come back. We've come back because we have really strong center of education. We have great colleges and universities here. We have a really great, strong technology sector that has built up in the last few years. We have medical facilities and research. And we have, as you heard from our county executive, great arts and culture. And I want to really take just a moment to thank our county executive for being here with us today. He's paying a lot of attention to the arts, and he comes to our events. He's very active, and we're really fortunate to have Rich Fitzgerald as our county executive. So thank you, Rich. So there's four spokes to that wheel, and arts and culture are one of them because we've helped to rebuild our downtown and a lot of our neighborhoods through the arts. And And because of that, this is a great place to live, it's a great place to work, and particularly a great place to live and work if you happen to be in the arts, because we have wonderful support from all different avenues. It's becoming a great place for artists to come and live and work and make a living as well. And you coming to Pittsburgh, our hosting of this convention, partnership with Americans for the Arts, is just all the evidence that we need to really show both locally and nationally that Pittsburgh is a great place for the arts, it's a great place to live and work in the arts, and I thank you very much for that. Like I said, this is a great time to be here. You've got to go down and check out the Three Rivers Arts Festival. Pride Week is happening as we speak on Saturday night, just outside of our hotel. Adam Lambert will be performing, and there'll be a lot of activity on the streets over the weekend. It'll be really, really excellent. But there are 3 things I want you to come to. Number 1, we have an opening reception tonight at the Warhol. And there's a number of ways that you can get there. Here's the most interesting way. Is our friends at Bricolage, which is a local theater company here, are helping us to bring Pittsburgh legends to life. If you want to meet Mr. Rogers or Martha Graham, Andy Warhol, you can do that tonight. If you show up at the West End lobby at 6:45 and look for Mr. Rogers, and he'll point you in the right direction. And Bricolage is helping us to do this, and you'll take a walking tour and meet some of Pittsburgh's legends, ending up with meeting Andy Warhol himself as we go over the Warhol Bridge and make our way to the Warhol Museum. And at the museum, you're going to see some really great things, and there will also be kind of a mini festival of Pittsburgh music and dance out on the streets in front of the Warhol. So that's tonight, and that's number 1. Also tonight, later at about 10 o'clock, we're hosting a jam session. And we have a great house band featuring a local artist named Fat Mandy, and you should come and see this. She's really wonderful in and of herself. But then we're going to have a cavalcade of stars headlined by our own Bob Lynch that'll be sitting in to perform. Bob's brought his guitar, and we've got a piano and some musical instruments there. So I want to see some of you come to that, and I'm hoping that some of you will want to come up and grab a guitar or grab a shaker or play piano, and there'll be a few of us who will be doing that. I play drums, and I hope to see some of you there at our jam session tonight, and that's from 10 p.m. to midnight, and that's in the Pennsylvania room here in the hotel. So that'll be a lot of fun. Please come to that. And then thirdly is the Art Venture Tours, which happen tomorrow right after this session, the plenary session. And I would urge you to come to the plenary session ready to go to the Art Venture Tour. The buses are going to leave right after this session tomorrow, so come ready so that you can enjoy that. And we're going to be going all over Pittsburgh. There's really a lot of great things to see. If you haven't already signed up, you can still do that even as late as tomorrow morning. One thing that you might be surprised by, though, is we're doing an accessibility tour, and there'll be best practices in accessibility at some of our really jewel institutions like the Carnegie Museum of Art, and a backstage kind of behind-the-scenes look at the Pittsburgh Opera. So you might want to try that one too. Few folks I've got to thank. There's been a lot of people who've helped us to do this, and it takes a lot of people, and it's been a great opportunity for us. I'd really like to thank Renee Pachaki and the staff of the Office of Public Art for the PAN pre-conference from yesterday. Yes. I want to thank Catherine Heidemann and the folks at Carnegie Mellon University and the Masters of Arts Management program for the Emerging Leaders events. And I know we've got 2 or 3 tables of ma'ams out there someplace, so I want to give a shout out to my ma'ams. Yes, so thank you to Carnegie Mellon for that, and I really want to thank all the help that we've gotten from the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust and Kevin McMahon for their support for the Cultural District's pre-conference yesterday, and other things that have helped us with this convention as well. So thank you. want to thank Visit Pittsburgh, who helped us to get this event. Heinz Endowments, we got great corporate support led by Highmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield and many other sponsors. I want to thank the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts and Philip Horn for their support of this event. Our honorary co-chair is First Lady Susan Corbett, who will be with us tomorrow. Really have to thank the GPAC. GPAC is us, Greater Pittsburgh Arts Council. Our board and staff, my board chair, Jim Fawcett, if you wouldn't mind standing up, Jim, thank you very much for your leadership. And thank you, Jim. And my staff, my deputy director and Tiffany Wilhelm is here, and along with a few other folks. And I'm sorry, I don't know where they are, but I do want to thank Ashley Polisic. When you take on a convention like this, you really should get a convention coordinator, and I know I picked the best person for that job, and Ashley Polisic has done a great job, and don't you dare come and talk to her about a job. She's staying with us, okay? So thank you. And also, yes, also want to thank the AFTA staff. Folks have been great to work with. You hold these kinds of events, and oftentimes, people like me get to stand up here and they pat you on the back and tell you the great things that you've done, but it's all the people behind the scenes that really make it happen. And those people here, in addition to my staff, but the folks that really make all these events happen are people like Mara Walker and John Ripsamen and Kate Gibney and Adrian Fink and Graham and Mark Tobias and a lot of other folks. I apologize. Every time you start naming names, you forget somebody. But those folks have really been super to work with, and we've really appreciated the partnership. So thank you very much. And thank you to Bob. Bob Lynch has been really great to us and a great partnership there. So thank you very much, Bob, for your help. So right now, we're going to enjoy our lunch, and we're going to come back with the program at 1 p.m. So take a few minutes, get to know the people sitting next to you, and enjoy your lunch. Thank you very much.